dinner at Nancy's, I kind of lit it off.
We're family, but we're not acting married.
My relationship with Meri is at best just distant and amicable.
Like,
For all my marriage with Meri, I felt like she unloads her emotions into a burden that I'm supposed to carry. I'm not carrying this burden because there's no reason that I should.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday, August 3rd, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, so remember how a couple days ago I was saying that Kody Brown disappeared from Cameo and he hadn't been online in weeks and he kind of disappeared from social media? Kody Brown has entered the world of social media where he does not post unless you pay him. He does not post on his Twitter, which is free for you to read. He does not post on his Instagram where you can respond and leave comments. He does not post on any social media unless you pay him, which is Cameo. And if you want a cameo from him, you have to pay him $99 for a 30-second clip where he literally says next to nothing but peace, love, Kody Brown. And in a recent video, he showed up and he's looking a lot more gray in the hair, which y'all, no shade, I've got plenty of gray hairs that I cover, so I get it. But he looks like he's the last few years have taken a toll on him, and he's been through a lot of stress, and he doesn't look the same, and he hasn't looked as happy at all in his recent posts on Cameo. Mind you, I got to thinking about how, one, Kody has a daughter that he literally doesn't pay child support for because Christine's never asked a court to have him pay child support, and she should. She should take out a court order. If it were me, I would make him pay child support, but maybe she doesn't want to have to deal with it. And he doesn't get to see Truly as much, and he has other children that are underage, but he takes care of them, and he doesn't take care of his other child that is still a minor, which is a gross ick factor and is really just, as far as fathers go, I find it deplorable. I find him deplorable. I don't know how you can call yourself a dad when you pick certain kids over other kids. It's just awful to me. Truly is lucky to have a mom that is so grounded and strong and has a lot of support around her. So she's very lucky in that respect. But every child deserves to have a father, and in this case, Kody made his choice and it wasn't Truly. And it reminds me of when she was really sick with that kidney infection and he wasn't as there for Christine as he could have been because he was distracted by all the other crap in his life. And I started looking at their Instagrams and I noticed that Kody and Robyn haven't posted on their Instagram in a long time. But I also noticed that it hasn't stopped people from leaving really awful comments, but people are making it well known how much they do not like these two. So I wanted to sort of give you an insight into what fans are thinking about Kody and Robyn and the kinds of comments that are being left on their social media. And mind you, they're not filtering them, they're not deleting them. It's a lot of hate, and I can kind of see why they might not want to be on social media. So Kody's last post on his Instagram was that he was getting divorced. He put up that post about Christine divorcing. He did not allow comments, okay? There's a post that's like before that. So he didn't allow comments, and that was posted back in November. And then he had another post that was, I don't know, a couple months before that. But as of 4 days ago, people were still leaving comments on that post. Someone wrote, "Marriage is hard after 30 years. Stuff happens and you think that's a reason to not love Meri because she's unlovable. In a normal marriage that lasts, we stick around and work through it without a backup, and you complain your life's hard. Suck it up, princess. Work through it, but you've already given yourself a way out by creating other outlets. God wouldn't approve." And another person wrote, "Man up, you chose a virus over your family." Someone else said, "Didn't you all say that this show was to show people how great and beautiful polygamy life is?" Someone wrote, you should have been arrested for polygamy. Shame. Glad that one of your wives wised up and got out. One person said, you are such a bad example of a follower of Jesus. You married Robyn and didn't realize she caused your whole entire marriage to die. You're obviously using COVID to avoid seeing your children, and this was 6 weeks ago, and wives don't have the balls to actually divorce them, let them be free, and you're selfish enough to keep them around so that you get to heaven. But Jesus said that you love your neighbor as you love yourself. Jesus cleansed the church, his wife, and why can you redeem all your wives for their mistakes? That's what a true husband would do. Jesus forgave. Why can't you forgive Meri? The Bible talks about renewing your mind, yet you still hold grudges and can't forgive. Clearly not renewing your mind. Someone, when they were discussing his cameos, someone said that they would pay him to shut up. I wouldn't get one if one was free. Dude, look in the mirror. As on another cameo one, he said, Robyn is a bad character as she is. She played the sly from the start on how the married wife on paper, unique and exclusive. You as a man should be ashamed of yourself. Why would anyone pay towards a horrible human and father? Good luck with your eternal marriages. Okay, so those were comments to Cody. You should have been arrested. You're a bad example of a husband. Why haven't you forgiven Meri? Why won't you let your wives go free? You're making your other wives suffer, you and Robyn, so that you guys can all get into heaven, not even considering that their lives here are miserable and the fact that you are guilting them to stay because it's your belief system. It's disgusting, honestly. And I kind of understand why people are so frustrated, because even when Christine was, leaving Cody, Robyn was like, I don't really believe that they're divorced. So these are the kinds of comments that Cody's getting. And I actually agree, like with that one comment where they said the show was supposed to be about showing the world how great polygamy is. And it's turned into what we're watching today, where he has no relationships with any of his other wives but Robyn. So Robyn's comment, now Robyn hasn't posted on her Instagram in 3 years. 3 years she hasn't posted a thing. So these are the comments to Robyn. You are so manipulating, and the fact that you don't even see it makes you worse. And it's absolutely horrible how you and Cody made the wives feel. You may think that you have no power over Cody, but deep down you know how much you have influenced him, and what made it worse is you claim, feel, and tell yourself you are innocent, and it's all Cody and the other wives' problems. There's a lot of kids affected, and I hope one day Cody doesn't get another wife and flip the script on you. You'd be left sitting there watching your life fall apart as the other wives are doing. You'll also be sitting and watching another wife claim innocent and that she has nothing to do with it, while your husband clearly sides with her. And then someone said, Robyn and Cody are both narcissistic. They belong together, sad pieces of human beings. It's really sad. And another person said, you are so full of it. All those quotes and bios about how great you are. Clearly a sick narcissistic. Some people can see through your crap clearly. And then someone actually said this, and this is something I've thought of a million times. So she shared this quote, and it said, I love God with all my heart. It is amazing when you know he is aware of you. It is the ultimate love. He accepts all your flaws and mistakes and loves unconditionally. And they wrote, if you would put God first, you would not have married a married man with 3 other wives. In the Bible, it says one man should be married to one woman, not one man married to however many women he wants. God has the ultimate judgment. Who am I to judge? But I'm just telling you the way I interpret the Bible. Another person wrote, I don't think love is so happy with you. Would he be happy 3 women were first in a family and then you came and it all fell down? Again, happy for you. You have what you want, Cody. To the rest, you don't care. I always felt polygamy wasn't for me, and I saw images of Warren Jeffs and how children were used and abused, and I didn't hate a good eye for it. And the family Brown would do it differently, said Cody. Well, now it has turned out that nothing has changed. The man is still in charge, and the women who are not the favorites are used like the children for child support and taxes. Well, Robyn, be glad that you are the one of the favorites. Your children are now legally accepted to the state by getting married, and the other children can forget about it. I don't think any God wants this. That's what you make of it. She shared a post about the energies of law, and she said, I used to watch the show, this was 9 weeks ago, I used to watch the show in anticipation because it was loving and the bond between sister wives was beautiful. But watching the tables turn with the COVID crap, wow, it's really all wow is really all I can say. It's truly a shame that Christine felt she had no other way out but out. My heart breaks for Meri, and the way the man treats her is disgusting. And she still loves him. And now poor Janelle. She thinks he still loves and wants her, and all he said last was that he was not attracted to her any longer, but still loves her as a good friend. I saw this coming when Meri divorced for the sake of Robyn's kids, and that was Kody's out. Kody stopped being kind to Meri long before she looked in another direction. It started with the divorce and marriage to Robyn. We ladies don't ever look away unless we don't get treated with respect and love. I'm sorry, this is how things are going. It's a shame, but ladies, I see wonderful things in your futures. Just remain positive, strong. This is heartbreaking for sure. Then someone said, you got what you wanted. Maybe you should think about why we feel the way we do is because women know what other women are about, and you haven't been very honest at all what you're after. So Robyn and Kody are getting very different takes. So Robyn is blamed for marrying him and breaking up the family, which, you know, their belief system is kind of a mess, and it's easy to put the blame on her, but it's equally as, I think they're both to blame in this situation. And I think Robyn did learn how to manipulate and use Kody to get her way. She also learned how to throw her sister wives under the bus. She also learned how to get his favor by agreeing with him and not causing controversy. So I think in many ways it's true. But I agree with the one comment is like, if you really cared about God, and I'm not a God, I don't believe in God, but I would say if you're such a God-fearing woman, why did you marry someone else's husband? Why did you marry someone else's husband when that person's wife was pregnant at the same time? Why did you get married to that man while she was giving birth and having a baby? Why did you decide to do all of these things knowing full well his life? And why were you so encouraged and why were you so disrespectful to Meri and Kody's marriage? And when Meri told you that the marriage was finalized, the divorce was finalized, you said, "Oh, that sucker's done." I think social media has it right about these two, in my opinion. And I think TLC needs to get honest with themselves about what the show is about. And I do think it's really selfish of the both of them to keep the other ladies around for the sake of them going to heaven, knowing full well that Kody has no intention of having any kind of relationship with either Janelle or Meri. That doesn't make Robyn any better in my book at all. So what are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.